and this is by request by a couple people, so I hope it helps. And you're going to want to start out by knowing general knowledge of guitar. So if you're just a beginner, sorry, this isn't the video for you. I will make other ones though. And some good things to know, a few points that I'm going to go over later, are things like places on the fretboard, like the notes, different scales that'll help, and like hammer-on pull-off exercises that I'm going to go more in depth in, because that's basically all soloing is, besides getting the feel for it and being creative enough to make up your own. So the first thing, places on the fretboard, you're just going to want to know basics like what is what, and you know that the 12th fret is the same as an open, so like this is an E as well as this. And you're going to want to know that everything after the 12th fret repeats, so 13 would be a higher octave of 1, as you could hear. And yeah, that's basically it, so brush up on that stuff. It takes practice and time, but it'll help you a lot more when you're actually trying to play solos and you're told to play in a certain key and you know like where all the notes are for that and different scales. And which brings me to the next topic, which is actually scales. You're going to want to know any type of scale, I guess, just so you know what to work off of, and different scales work with each other. So my favorite that I learned when I was starting would be pentatonic scales, which are just really simple patterns and they're interchangeable for the most part, and you're almost always going to have the same spacing. So you're going to want to start off, this is the first exercise, on the open E. And what's nice about pentatonics is they almost always have the same first note. So every string that you move to, the first note on it is going to be an open. So you're going to go open, third, open A, B, second fret, and then open third string, or fourth depending on the way you're looking at it, second fret, open on the G, second, open B, and then third, and then open E, and then third. So the whole thing is and you can play it backwards. Yeah, it's pretty basic. And as long as you have the same spacing, so if you want to play an F, you start on F, which is the first fret, and then you make sure there's 2 frets in between your next note, because you go on the third. So you go 1, 4, 1, 3, 1, 3, 1, 3, really repetitious, 1, 4, and 1 and 4. And you can play that anywhere, so you could have like a G, which would be the same, or up here, you could have an E way up here. The higher ones always sound better in my opinion, but it's really personal opinion. And sorry if I ramble on a bit, I don't know, tired I guess. And yeah, so if you practice those, you could pick them, alternate pick, whatever you want, speed pick up it, so like, you don't even have to go up the whole way, you can just play out of whatever you want, so like, and just fun exercises like that. And what else? You can also hammer on and pull off, which sounds just as good depending on if it's legato or not. You just just basic. And one of the things I've seen most in solos is patterns used for hammer-ons and pull-offs. And you're gonna want, this is gonna train your fingers, these exercises, which is going to help you the most when it comes to learning solos, because you want fast fingers and a quick hand on your fretboard. And just basics exercises that'll help you would be like, on the B string, go on the 5th fret, and then hammer onto the 7th, and then to the 8th with your pinky. And you're gonna always want to use your pinky because it's getting into good habits. When I first started, I wasn't taught that, so I was going like this, and it sounds just as good, but it looks bad, and it looks like you don't know what you're doing. So, sorry if anybody does that right now. I'm not trying to be offensive. So, you're gonna want to do that. And I just sit on my couch with the volume off, obviously, watching TV or doing whatever, just sitting there. But you just want to get your fingers in that motion so that you can go very fast. And you could do that anywhere, the same pattern. It sounds just as good as long as you're on like a good starting note. And that's for those strings. The other ones you kind of have to hear it out. Like some of them sound out better when they're spaced. That would be 5, 7, and 9 on the 3rd string, the G. And it also sounds good on the the lowest strings. And another pattern would be the same thing, except instead of using your ring finger, you use your 2nd finger, and you would go on the 7th, and then hammer on to 8th, and then to 10th. And once again, you don't have to go that fast immediately. Nobody learns that quick. You can just kind of start slow. Or to get your pinky down, you can also just do the ending two, or the first and the last note. So 5 and 8, and 7 and 10. And you could do the same to train your other fingers. Doesn't sound that good if you do it like that, but it's just the exercise that matters. And you can also pick those depending on what kind of solo you want to do. Like if you want to do a shred, I would recommend picking because it sounds better. So like just higher up. And you can also go back down with those. And those are basically the exercises that I used when I started playing, other than just getting a feel for it. And just work out stuff and do some of those kind of exercises because they're really helpful to train your fingers. And if you have fast fingers, you can have better chances at learning fast solos. And this is my first video, and I hope it's helpful. And if it's not, don't hate, just leave me a comment giving constructive criticism on what I should put in my next video, because I do plan on having more of these. And yeah, have a good day.